Christopher Ciccone and his mega-famous sister grew up alongside 6 other brothers and sisters in Michigan. They were as close as any brother and sister can be. They've had their ups and downs and huge successes. Now he says he feels compelled to share with the world his unique relationship with Madonna. He's been there through it all and says, if you think you know the material girl, think again. She always seemed to live life as an open book, as she went from scandalous bad girl and shocking queen of pop to loving mom of 3, an ardent follower of the Jewish mystical religion Kabbalah, and even a writer of children's stories. And now, yet again, proving her ability to reinvent herself, she has a hot new sound, along with rumors of a new scandal. Let's talk about, in fact, the latest news that I'm sure you are aware of. Allegations from the wife of baseball player Alex Rodriguez claiming that Madonna broke up her marriage, essentially. Right. Do you think your sister came between the two of them?
I think it's highly unlikely.
Why?
First of all, despite everything else, she's still a Catholic girl, and I don't think, although he is kind of her type, so it's difficult to say.
So what happened between her and Alex Rodriguez, do you think?
I think that he was interested in Kabbalah, to be honest, and I don't think, I know Alex. Yeah, I know Alex from Miami. We've met a number of times. I doubt that this is actually an affair. I really doubt that she had any, I'm sure she had nothing to do with the breakup of their marriage. So when you heard her named in the middle of all of this? It seemed absurd to me, truly. I mean, it's just, I don't believe it. From the earliest, he looked up to her, his sister, older by 2 years, who did everything first and best. You paint a picture of Madonna as a child with an incredibly strong will, someone who was determined. You almost foresee that there's going to be greatness attached to her. She was my mother's namesake, and she looked like my mother. Our mother was very important to us, and she, you know, after dying, she achieved a sort of sainthood in our family. And so Madonna became the focus of quite a bit of attention. And that attention turned into kind of an ego of some kind that got bigger and bigger. Here he is dancing by her side in this 1983 video, Lucky Star. And for the next 20 years, Christopher will choreograph, direct, design, dress, and take care of nearly every whim of his bigger-than-life big sister. You had to basically dress your sister before she went out on stage. Not very many brothers find themselves on their knees in their sister's dressing room, wiping sweat off of her naked body. It was an odd situation. And it wasn't, you know, I couldn't really tell my friends, but I wanted to be there for her. And I knew that she needed someone there that she could trust. How close were you two, would you say? Well, we were living in the same house together. After the divorce from Sean, I mean, I was the last person she spoke to at night before she went to bed. I was the first person she saw in the morning. We ran together. We had our sourdough toast together. We had our coffee together. We were very close, brother and sister. I mean, it was a bit like a marriage. It was kind of weird. What happened to your relationship? Guy Ritchie pretty much happened to our relationship, for the most part. He came between the two of you? Yeah. I mean, he did. It was, I think, his intention to. The best way to get to my sister is to get in bed with her. You know what I mean? And since I wasn't doing that, I wasn't about to. You know, that person, like I said, who speaks to her, the last person to speak to her at night, has the most influence. And we both couldn't really exist in the same hemisphere. You know, it wasn't really, not to mention his issues, I think, with homosexuality. You're openly gay. I am. And you're saying Guy Ritchie has a problem with homosexuality? He does, and he certainly has a problem with me, where both are concerned. Which is very apparent at the wedding in Scotland, just in the way that his friends made their toasts with these gay references. I mean, had it been any other word, you know, Jew or a black person, anyone would have found it offensive. And I have a thick skin, you know, but I did at one point get up and leave the room. You know, it was just not tolerable for me.
You don't hide your feelings about him in the book. In fact, you say of Guy Ritchie, he is lordly, not in the least bit friendly, as if I'm just another employee and not his brother-in-law. Clearly, there's some problems there with him in terms of your relationship.
Yeah.
So some would wonder if this book isn't your little bit of revenge.
On Guy?
Guy, Madonna, their union, the fact that you're no longer really close to your sister?
The marriage is a small portion of this, and I'm not taking revenge, not at all. I'm telling what I consider to be a great tale.
What about her own marriage to Guy Ritchie? There are now reports that they're on the rocks.
I believe that she'll do what's best for her family and her kids, and I think that she'll do her best to maintain the marriage and keep it going. I don't think she's not the kind of person just to walk away. You
said that they were using Kabbalah to get through rough patches.
Yeah. While Kabbalah is useful, I don't know that it's the only thing that can hold something together like a marriage.
Are you a follower of Kabbalah as well?
I did for quite some time, although I was blackmailed into it.
Blackmailed into it?
Well,
how?
I'd finished a house for Madonna, and she owed me a final payment, and you know, she said, you know, if I'll only pay you your final payment if you come to a Kabbalah class. You know, I was like, if this is what it takes to get paid, fine, I'll go. And as it turns out, it was a perfect time for me to take another look at myself at the time. It was about 2001. And while I resented her for sort of forcing me into it, I actually got some good stuff from it.
Has Kabbalah made your sister a better person?
I suppose on some levels, although I think Kabbalah in many ways has validated some of her bad behavior. I think, you know, now it's her way or no one's way, because she's got God on her side now, you know. So it's a double-edged sword. You know, it can be very helpful, but she has a tendency to use it like a weapon, and I think that's not what they quite intended.
Are you saying she's controlling and she uses Kabbalah sometimes to help her control?
Controlling is a perfect word for it, and right now in her life, there are 3 things she can't control. She's turning 50, her husband, and me, and this book. And that's enough for anyone who lives that kind of choreographed, mythological life to crack a little bit, you know.
We should say that we attempted to reach Guy Ritchie, who declined to comment about Christopher Cicconi's comments about him and his feelings about homosexuality. Chris, a lot of people would wonder, though, why? Why would he do this to his sister? He says it's not a gotcha kind of book. It's his memoir, his story.
A lot of gotcha in it, though.
A lot of gotcha in it.
Friday morning, where's the only place to see the most popular girl on the planet?
Well, of course. Good morning, America.
It's Miley Cyrus.
Get ready. We're taking over morning TV.
This Friday, only on Good Morning America, presented by Listerine Smart Rinse.
See you Friday.